Let's play some trivia. Chris, what cigar manufacturer was founded in 1895 and has roots in Cleveland, Ohio?
J.C. Newman.
That is correct. Second question.
Yeah.
Which cigar manufacturer still produces cigars in their 112-year-old factory in Tampa, Florida?
J.C. Newman.
Correct again.
Yep.
All right, last one.
Okay.
Can you go 3 for 3?
Probably.
Who are the creators of the Diamond Crown, Brick House, and the American Cigar?
J.C. Newman.
That is right. Gosh, you know what? They say you look dumb, but you're pretty smart.
Trivia is my thing.
I like it. To explore everything J.C. Newman has to offer and a chance to win a free Diamond Crown whiskey set, visit jcnewman.com/hot ticket. The whiskey set includes 2 Diamond Crown Whiskey Rocks glasses, whiskey rocks, and a set of tongs. All the hardware you need for a perfect drink. Again, enter a chance to win by visiting www.jcnewman.com/hot ticket. Fucking sucks. That's why I'm also drinking this tequila. That's why I actually have 4 bottles of tequila up here.
It's an interesting coping strategy, brother.
You know, what's weird is that one thing I noticed was kind of strange. It's not strange. It's not strange at all, actually. It's just, it's kind of powerful. It's like if you look at the inline hockey page on Facebook, dude, it's like flooded. Full of fucking comments and pictures and like memories and all this shit. And then we're going to have some like things made to do like basically like wearing our helmets and stuff. So that's going to be dope as shit. But yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like the outpour of like, fuck, this sucks, has been really crazy. Like really crazy. I mean, people have known him for such a long time. He's been around the hockey rink forever. So it's cool to see like everybody's like, oh, I have this picture and I have this picture. And it's like Tim's been in pictures for like fucking 30 years.
Really? That long?
Yeah, dude, there's some where you like, look, I mean,
it's been a decade, right?
It's been a while. Yeah. Easily. Oh yeah. More than that for sure. Yeah. Fucking sucks, man. I was thinking about it this morning and, cause like what you were telling me yesterday where it's like you have family, you know what I mean? And there's and I don't mean like immediate family. I mean like extended family, but they're your blood. And you look at them and go, God, that's sad. But doesn't like hit you the same way. Like there's not even though it's blood, there may not be a relationship there. And although that is sad, it doesn't create long-term sadness or mourning. You feel bad from a situational perspective. And then oftentimes in those cases, I feel bad because of who it impacts, minus myself. Mm-hmm. This one just hit different. And I was thinking about it this morning, man. And I was like, you know, I spent literally all day yesterday up until, dude, it's crazy. Like I was laying in bed at like 11:30 at night, and that was all I was thinking about. I was trying to I'm listening to the Godfather book, and I'm like trying to pay attention. I can't pay attention. Like I'm just thinking about that. Like I was thinking about, I remember going to the rink on a Saturday, like trying to figure out how to play this fucking game. You know what I mean? Because John's the one that got me into it. And I remember Tim said that he would show up. And I remember John telling me, hey, there's these 2 old guys that we play with, but they're cool as shit. Jim and Tim, dude. And so they were like the 2 first people that I really met when I went there. And then I started thinking about all the times that I've hung out in the bar with Tim, like how many times we went to Pegs, how many times I had, 1, 2 in the morning sitting at Sports Plus, drinking at the bar.
What was the place we went to between Sports Plus and Pegs?
Blue Goose.
Blue Goose, that's what it was.
Yeah. How many times went to the Goose? How many times he's hung out at, Ironman tournaments? All those times. And it's like, well, that's the difference between the family dynamic and this person that you saw all the time and interacted with all the time. And not even in like an ancillary way. I mean, like involved in the group. And one of the things I was thinking about was like, Tim wasn't in it for the hockey. He was in it for the hang.
Dude, he was totally in it for the hang.
It was all about just being down, hanging out with people.
Like Yeah, 100%.
Like he just wanted to be there.
Like he would play leagues that he probably, well, he was really honestly a pretty good hockey player for
being an old,
him,
for being fucking in his mid 50s. Hell yeah, he was good.
But the dude would play hockey against more skilled athletes, not to get better, but just because he liked the company of the people that were playing.
100%.
And he would join leagues just to play because he liked the people that were
just
there.
to be. And he would even say, like, I'm getting outworked. I'm outpaced.
Yeah.
Even though fundamentally it's like he didn't have speed.
No, but his stick handling is pretty solid.
His stick handling, his shot.
Yeah.
And he knew how to use his body to body people out. Yeah. Like, and so
maybe that's why
so
he did
impressively.
I just want to rub up against dudes.
Maybe. Dude, but he was just like the sweetest fucking person. Mm-hmm. Like always kind, always asked about things, would show you stuff, always cracking jokes. Mm-hmm. Always cracking jokes. Most of them insanely inappropriate, which is the thing that I'm going to miss about Tim so fucking much.
The amount of off-color jokes from him and Jim.
Yeah. So you're listening to this. A really good friend of ours passed away a couple nights ago, which is just like, and it's all hockey community based, and it's just been like tearing through our small hockey community in Cincinnati the past few days, and it's been just like not easy to digest. Like, dude, it's the fact that I'm like struggling with this more than I just struggled with a lot of deaths closer to me is kind of fucked up. But I just think about all those times, like all the fucking times we're on the rink together, the shit that he showed me. Like he used to show me stuff when I was like finally starting to like learn fundamentals and all that. And, positioning and how to work a rink and like how to compliment other people. Like he was just so good at those things, but like just hanging out with him at the bar. I remember
him like
so great.
Just every time on the rink, like, I want to get a beer.
Yeah, dude, he was all about bench beers too. I'm pretty sure at one time, because so many bench beers got spilled, they were like, no more beers on the bench. Because it was like Tim would line up the bench with fucking beers and they'd all get tipped over.
And Tim knew where that beer was. Like he had a nose for it.
He would steal it out of bags.
He would go into other hockey rooms and take other people's beers.
Right. He would steal other people's beers. He would steal them and not even apologize for them. But
he always reciprocated and brought packs. Yeah, he would go across the street and buy a 24-pack.
He would always replenish, but he would legit just comb people's fucking bags while they were playing to see who had cold beer.
Always.
And also, he was a tequila guy. So that's why now I drink a shit ton of tequila. So, appropriate for the times, but he was real into tequila. Actually, he's the one that really kind of taught me the different types of tequila before I really started drinking it. I was asking him a bunch of questions about it. And so he would tell me like how things were made, like how they were aged and all that stuff, what his favorites were, if it was a Blanco or if it was a Reposado or a Añejo, like in the different categories, what are the ones to start drinking and all that stuff. And yeah, it's weird. Another thing I kept thinking about was like, I just saw him like 2 weeks ago.
That's what's fucked up.
And I walked in and he was on the bench. He wasn't playing, but he was drinking. He was hanging out and he's sitting on the bench, and he was with a couple other people that play in one of the lower leagues. And as I was walking in, I just hung out with him for a few minutes and talked with him. And, I went and got changed and, I had to play a game, and then I played and I didn't see him after that. So that was the last time I saw him, was just, I think probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. And, then just fucking normal Tim, just fucking hanging out, drinking, having a blast, and fucking getting in trouble. Dude, he's the funniest drunk guy ever, because like drunk people slur really bad. Yeah. Dude, his whole face, man, looked like he had Bell's palsy. His face would freeze upon drunkenness. You could tell when Tim was hammered, because his whole fucking face melted. Not just a slur of his speech, but like everything kind of disintegrated. It is so fun. Dude, he's so fun to talk to.
And he hated Ryan.
That's another funny aspect of the whole thing, is there's certain people he fucking hated, and he let him know it too, man.
He hated.
You just like, you're a real piece of shit. He really was like that. Yeah, it's kind of, and that's the crazy thing is he was such a good person, but if he didn't like you, he didn't like you, and you fucking knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God, I'm gonna miss so much hanging out with him. It just fucking sucks. 59 years old, which is young. I mean, relatively speaking, that's a young age.
He's kind of like
not old at all.
Maybe it's because he's like kind of like big dogs. You know, big dogs don't live as long as little dogs. I mean, he was 6'4".
Tim was a big dude.
He was a big dude.
I mean, he wasn't a monster, but he was a big guy. Yeah, he's a big guy. He's very dense.
Very.
Again, knew how to use his weight when he was playing. That was always a frustrating thing. It was like you couldn't get the puck off of his stick because he was so big. He just boxed you out.
Oh, and he was dirty too on the ring.
He was kind of a dirty player, especially if he didn't like you. He was real dirty.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim would fucking trip if he had any chance to trip you. He did that to me. He did that to me so many times. Like when I used to play against him, and he would literally like I had the benefit of being fast in hockey. Yeah. And Tim did not. So if he could extend his stick and get it underneath my skate and trip me, he would take every advantage of it. And he used to always say, like, he would trip the fuck out of you and you go down hard. And he'd be like, "Are you okay?" And he was real nice about it. He'd be like, "Are you okay?" And he'd go, "Yeah." He goes, "You know I had to do that, right?"
Yeah.
He's like, "It's better than you being on a breakaway.
I need to take advantage of my opportunities to control the game.
It's better than going on a breakaway and scoring. He'd rather take the chance on defending a power play and being shorthanded." So I respected that. I never got mad at Tim at all ever for tripping. Like he knew how to fucking he understood how to play the game.
Yeah, he did.
Like at a different, like fundamentally he knew like the rules of the game, strategies of the game. Didn't have the speed, but could do all the other stuff really well. Knew how to pass, knew how to position.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, fuck, it just sucks. It sucks. It's going to be interesting. As everybody's listening to this currently, we record this on Thursday, but his viewing is on Saturday. And there's a massive group of us going because we've all played with him in certain teams, like the team I'm on now, the Red Dogs. He played on the team before I joined, but I played against him for so many years, played with him in novice for a long time. Mm-hmm. He's been on so many teams. So he knows so many people. It's like, dude, I feel like we're going to get to the viewing and it's going to be overwhelmingly hockey. Like the overwhelming majority is going to be hockey people.
For sure.
I'm sure he's got a ton of family and friends, but
it's going to be like, who are all these degenerates? It's going to
be a lot of fucking hockey players. There's going to be a lot of us there. So rest in peace, Tim. You know what? I haven't really even talked about it that much. And that's like, it was weird. I had like a really short fuse last night. I felt really bad because I was just
snappy.
I was very snappy and I knew this was why I was snappy. And it was just like, I could not stop fucking thinking about it, dude. Would not exit my brain. And then like, that's even why I wanted to talk about it on here is like, that's going to be like kind of my eulogy. Therapeutic release. And
it's like a eulogy.
Yeah, except I'm not great with words that way.
No.
But yeah, it's fuck, dude. Sucks dick. Fucking sucks. All right, moving on. Rest in peace, Tim. So PCA wrapped up just a few days ago, and I feel like for the most part, PCA was, I would say, I don't want to say anticlimactic, but I don't feel like there was a ton, and I don't know, maybe it's a dissipating thing every single year, but doesn't it just seem like it just appears to be less impactful from like an overall industry perspective? Am I crazy in saying that? I feel like every year, for whatever reason, I'm not all that wowed by what is to come before PCA, and then also what happens during the show, and then of course what happens after. It just seems like it's kind of dulled and numb a little bit.
Well, I think maybe some of it is just like, while I did see a lot of photos on social media, there still wasn't quite the style of coverage that you've seen in previous years when it comes to PCA.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it was, well, that, yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that, actually. Style of coverage, and I just think like that, I don't know, man. It just seemed like it lacked energy, and I was paying attention to a lot was going on during PCA just on social media, and of course, like coverage, from Half Wheel and other just trying to make sure that I get a good understanding of what was going on. And I know a lot of people are like, why are you going to PCA? Why are you going to PCA? Are you coming to PCA? It's like, I'm just going to be honest with you. There's probably never going to be a year that I go to PCA. And it's not because I don't want to be there. And it's not because I don't want to see everything. And it's not because I don't want to see all these people that I know. It's because literally it's the busiest time of year for me. And I explained this to one person. And it's not in like it's not in a dickish way, but like, I don't have time because time in my job equates to money. Mm-hmm. I don't have time to spend doing that in the busiest time of year for me because my regular job literally pays all my bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have to dedicate my time to the busiest time of the year. There is no days off. Like I don't take vacations when normal people take vacations during the summer because it's so busy for me. I have to wait. I have to either go in spring or I have to go in fall.
Yeah.
Like I can't take time off during the summer. It's just, it doesn't make sense for me to do so because we're so busy. So to take time off to go to PCA and to calibrate for that and to prepare for that doesn't really make much sense. Like I'm not going to get anything out of it other than seeing certain friends.
It's just going to be a hangout.
And interacting and hanging out. I'm not doing news or media coverage there. I have no aspirations to do that. So it's kind of meaningless outside of just the relationships that we've built with people and kind of seeing them all in one place.
Yeah.
So that's probably why I'll never go. And if I do, it'll be in a circumstance of which like, hey, maybe things loosen up in my job a little bit. I'm not as crazy busy. And one, I have the expendable income and time to do it. I have the expendable income. It's not about the income, although dude, flights are getting real fucking pricey. But to where I can just hang out and not have the other shit be a part of it.
I feel like it should not be anything like we should maybe consider an alternative meetup. Because I think really at the end of the day...
like Pravada and PravadaCon?
Well, you know,
at the same time?
Well, you know, less businessy, more family. So maybe we have like a 3-day potluck where it's nothing but smoking cigars and drinking.
I feel like Drew Estate does that with their barn burner stuff.
And then it's just food.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be bad. Just a manufacturers hang.
Yeah, and it's just
the people of the industry hang.
Yeah.
What if we did that? What if we coordinated our own, not even expo, not even a showcase product? Like people can bring product. Each manufacturer brings product and you can, but it's like just a fucking hangout. It's just a giant hang.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. No expectations.
Someone got to bring the beans.
Yeah, someone got to bring them baked beans.
I'll
tell you what, I will not touch a baked bean without bacon on it.
What? There's no doubt that some people in this industry know how to fucking barbecue. So bring some fucking barbecue.
Not maybe the fattest industry you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. I was even looking at some of the pictures of PCA and I'm like, someone needs to get a wide angle lens because all three of you ain't fitting in there.
Yeah.
You better back up and get a wide angle lens. There are some thicker than a snicker fellas that exist in this industry.
We'll set up a sand volleyball, so we'll objectify the women. All the women play volleyball in the sand with cigars in their mouth, and we just watch like creepy old people. Which
ironically they do themselves already.
Yeah, it's true.
So funny, so funny. How dare you make fun of me when my ass is out in this video that I posted? Fucking idiots. Some fucking guy came at me yesterday for saying midget.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. How did I forget to tell you this? Oh, I'm so glad I thought about that last fucking second. Hold on, dude. This is so funny. I bet the guy listens to the show too. So like, hopefully. So I always do like cigar lineup photos, which I love doing. Because it gives me a good idea of like what people like and what they're interested in. So I like just do a lineup of 5 and anyway, so the caption was, which little midget you taking first? I was like, can we still say midget? I'm unsure of the rules these days.
And of course. And then someone says like,
but it happened. It happened an entire week after I posted.
Those aren't midget cigars anymore. That's not cool. You gotta call them little cigars,
dude. I'm not kidding you. This is, dude. So funny. This guy goes, well, now I feel lame for chiming in, but no, it's little people and little people find the word midget derogatory. And I go, yeah, but I'm not talking about a person, am I? And then he goes, well, you asked the question. can you still say midget? The answer is no. So this guy is telling me as a non-little person that you can't say midget. I'm like, cool. The answer is no. Little people are not fans. So again, speaking for a demographic of people that he himself is not. Could a cigar company call their petite Robusto size a midget without any pushback? Probably not in 2020. So woke, even though he's wearing a cowboy hat, so woke. Though I could see that there is a very niche intersection of cigar culture and activism for little people of America. So woke. So I cannot wait for a cigar company to do something along the lines of creating a midget cigar, like literally labeling a midget and go, all proceeds go to the Little Person Association of America.
What is it, bud?
Get a drink. Go. Get a drink. You don't have to ask. Go. Jesus. And so I responded, I was like, I said the term midget may also refer to anything much smaller than normal size, as it has throughout history. He said, such as a synonym for miniature or mini, midget cell, midget crabapple, midget submarine. I was like, this matching context of my post. I assume because you seem so definitive in your response, you have surveyed enough little people and through your results noted that the vast majority specifically told you that there is no scenario in which that anyone can feel free for the word to be used, even if not specifically about a person. Is that what you were saying? And he goes, I can't speak for all little people. I did befriend 2 little people who are a couple several years ago.
Hey, you know what I like is when someone who's totally out of their element and you call them out and they go, let's put it on this point. I'm going to use words, quote unquote, of things I've heard in the past. But it's the idea that people have a false sense of what's the word? I'm like, where they oh God, like they like police. What is it called when they like other people like police each other, like the cancel culture thing?
Yeah.
But then they say things or they act in a way that is also equally just as like not quite good. It's kind of like when you call someone out on something, it's like, well, you're not a black person. I got a bunch of black friends.
Yeah. So in Bill Burr's new special, he uses this example of, he always uses white women fighting for everybody else. And he'll say he's like, a white woman will own a store that in an area in which is, it was like talking about like, the example was it's an area in which it's high turmoil, politically and racist, from a racist perspective, like areas in which people were like burning down buildings. He's like, you'd have like a white woman who owns a store and he's like, the irony will be that the whole store is boarded up to keep black people out, but that it'll be spray painted on one of the boards, Black Lives Matter.
Right.
Like it's funny. I just, listen, I don't go around calling little people midgets. It's not what I said, and it wasn't part of the initial context and conversation. But he goes, I did befriend 2 little people who were a couple several years ago. By that experience, I'm somewhat familiar with a couple of their issues as they were pretty heavily involved in their national organization. This is great. I read the crux of your question as, would a significant portion of the population that some people might use the word midget to describe, would they think I was a twat? Referring to me as a twat. He goes, so really up to you on that one. And he goes, additionally, if you even type, can you still use the word midget into Google, a statement on Little People of America's website is the first thing to pop up. Your semantic argument aside, you had some awareness that no matter the subject, it might have moved into the realm of taboo. Again, so what you will with that. And I said, and I literally go, yet Tootsie Rolls still have midgies on their packaging. I said, of course, it goes without saying that its original intent wasn't derogatory in nature. And again, a word used to describe things in small nature, not human beings. I understand if that was your only argument, because I do agree. I said, to suggest that a word that has been used for a long period of time can no longer be used under any circumstance or context is insane. I said, also, don't let Google search results dictate what you should or shouldn't do. That is advice that you should be taking. And it's so funny because the dude is not a little person and he wears a cowboy hat and looks like a younger Colonel Sanders. So there's that as well. It's just so funny. I love that people come in the defense of other people all the time for shit that they fucking... Well, you know what? I met a few little people one time. Motherfucker, I play hockey with a little person.
Yeah, we do.
I remember a time of which there was a poster at the hockey rink for a midget wrestling that they were doing at the rink, and he wanted a picture next to the poster that literally said midget wrestling, and he stood underneath it like this. Like, dude, come on. Like, to say that it is either 100% abolished because it's offensive to a small subset of people, no pun intended.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
He's probably early 30s, right?
I don't know. He looks kind of old.
Now?
That guy?
No, I mean the guy that we played at the rink with.
Oh, yeah. In his 30s.
Probably early 30s, right? Mid-30s.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
I just love, it's like, I'm going to come to the defense of all these. And by the way, what I think is so interesting about it is like, I asked the question in a rhetorical way, obviously, in my post. And that guy's like, I'm going to answer this literally for my little people friends across the United States. Yeah. Like, fuck off. You just fuck off. That shit pisses me off. Listen, I get cultural expectations. I'm not a fucking moron. I'm not running around going, look at that fucking midget. I would never do that because I understand what being offensive is. But there are situations contextually that I feel like you are allowed to use certain words to describe certain things as long as they aren't offensive to a human being.
Or the cigar.
Or the cigar. Yeah. Let the cigar get pissed off at me, for fuck's sake.
But again, we've had this talk before, and someone commented and skewed my personal words. And actually, we both commented to him. And I think he's a listener.
Hope this guy's a listener.
But
you know who the fuck you are.
But it's like, where do we draw the line? It's like, we talked about our noses before. Like, if we got enough people with big noses that we could have all objectively say scientifically that we all have big noses, and we're offended when someone looks at us funny and says, oh, you've got a big old schnauzer. Do you smell really good compared to normal people?
Yeah.
Like, and then we petition it and we send it up the ladder.
Is that thing a fucking appended vacuum cleaner on your face?
You can add us to the LGBTQTIXLFG fucking...
Now N.
And
is there already an N in there?
But there's a lot. I can't even keep up with them anymore.
Fucking nosist.
Yeah. It's just like, if there's enough people to say, it's like, where do we draw the line of where it's like, okay, well, yeah, we want to be respectful and we'll say certain things that offend people. But a lot of times when people say things such as these, there's not an ill intent involved, but people take it as ill intent because they have triggers. They have triggers and an emotional response to something that, for a lot of people, don't have ill intent when they say what they say.
Yeah,
but people take it offensively. And
I mean, a lot of what I say has ill intent to it, but you'll know it when it. You know it when I. So it's like, you know when I say.
I don't know. It's like, where do we draw the line? It's like, what are we gonna? We got to stop calling giants. Because they feel insecure about how tall they are.
Yeah.
And and what is considered too tall? 6'2"?
Yeah.
6'3"?
I guess a giant.
Yeah. I don't like to be called giant.
You know what? I'll tell you what. There's a guy that I work with who's like 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
And I've literally go, you're a monster.
Yeah.
And I've never heard him go, don't you dare call me a monster. I am a human being. Right. Not one fucking time.
Right.
God,
I don't know, man. It's just like,
ugh, fucking woke ass fucking
Let me ask
pussies.
you this. Let me ask you this.
And I'm not even old. You know what? I'm not like the old curmudgeon guy, and you're not the old curmudgeon guy. You're not like the guy. We're not like people who are like, well, this is how it used to be, and this is what I grew up like. And it's like, I'm not even that. I'm fucking 34 years old. But I'm also a logical fucking human being.
Like, where do we go? Like, are the people that say things that end up offending others, are we supposed to be more careful with our words, or are they supposed to understand that people are going to say things and you need to grow a backbone?
Dude, there's like that whole saying about like this subset of people breeds this subset of people, and this subset of people breeds this subset of people because of circumstance, and it's like this cycle. I'll show it to you later, but it talks about like weak men versus strong men, and this perpetual cycle that we usually get ourselves in.
I'll give it to you because I've used this one before. bad times create strong men.
There it is. Okay. Yeah.
Strong men create easy times.
Yeah.
Easy times create weak men.
Right.
And weak men create bad times.
Yeah. It's that cycle. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. It's 100%.
I think we're in weak men time.
Yeah, for sure.
A bunch of goddamn fucking filthy little pussies who don't have backbones, who fucking use their keyboards to fucking feel good about themselves when they want to make a woke statement about some shit because they have no internal fucking willpower themselves. You're fucking weak-minded little bitches. Not everybody, but most of you. Because here's the thing. The loudest fucking people represent like 0.5% of everybody in existence.
Let me ask you this.
Also, we got to take a break. That's the question now. 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds right now.
If there was an alien invasion tomorrow or a nuclear war.
Yeah.
And we all had to toughen up to get through surviving.
Yeah.
Do you think a midget or a fat person is going to be worried about what you call them? No, they're going to be worried about the fact that we're in a nuclear war being invaded by aliens. I think we're easily upset by things that...
Yeah, because you don't have to survive.
Yeah. Like, so it's...
Yeah.
The things that were trivial back in the day are no longer trivial. So we look for... Maybe we look for new things. I'm speaking out loud, so I could be wrong, but like we're looking for new things to like find difficult.
Yeah, I agree. Almost like it just ends up being almost like this weird pettiness.
Yeah.
Because of that comfort level.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have to survive in the woods. Yeah. You don't have to survive and kill your own meat and harvest your own meat.
Yeah.
Like you don't have those kinds of activities that you have to be responsible for. Yeah. You literally get to sit comfortably in the AC behind your computer, fucking assaulting people on Twitter if they don't fucking believe in the things that you believe in. Now I'm taking this a bit further than what this guy said.
Yeah,
but my point is like, well, there's 2 points. One, I don't understand how one person feels comfortable enough to speak for an entire community of people or an entire class of person.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting in and of itself. Well, you know what? I met 2 little people one time. Great. Cool. I guess that makes you a fucking expert on everything that all of them desire and don't desire. Like, don't come at me with that bullshit. And also, the second point I want to make is that gave that particular person an outlet to speak or to comment and create this fucking political divide dialogue on my page. Which I also find to be kind of interesting because, again, when I asked the question, it was rhetorical. And if you didn't understand that it was rhetorical in nature, given the post itself, well, then you're a fucking moron. Mm-hmm. Pretty plain. You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And that's my problem. And I'm drinking a little too much right now, so I'm getting a little fucking amped up. You know what, dude? I've said this so many times, and I've said that, like, specifically, just not even about this, which wasn't cigar related necessarily. It was just calling cigars little midgets, right? Because they were small cigars. They weren't big cigars. They were small cigars, smaller vitolas, right?
Yeah.
But there are certain things that happen and there's certain things that are said, like even in the cigar community, and there's certain perceptions of certain things. You know how fucking tiring it is just to be a part of it all? It's so tiring. Like last night, I'm not kidding you. Like, I'm sitting there going through social media and I'm seeing all this bullshit stuff, all this fucking drama from everywhere. Not about the cigar, not about the cigar, not about the cigar, not about the cigar. Drama. And I just said, what if I just go into the account and delete it right now? Just delete it.
Yeah, liberating
from existence. It'd feel great. And there will be a fucking day when that happens. There will be a day. There will be a delay. There will be a day where I just go account, settings, delete, and that'll be it. It'll be wiped from existence. And I never have to fucking worry about all this fucking bullshit. I don't have to fucking listen to people be stupid. I don't have to see all this contradictory bullshit that's happening over on this other side. I can just not be a part of it and completely ignore it and fucking live my life in peace. Because the only reason that social media exists for me at all is for this podcast. That's it. I like to make funny videos and I like to make fun of people, and I've been doing that, and it's been very controversial. It's been very controversial.
Yeah.
And I like doing those because they are funny, because I want to bring light to the fucking silliness that goes on all the time. And I don't do it intentionally to be mean. I do it to be funny. That's why I had every post. I don't know if you've seen the recent post. I put yay, fun jokes. I just put yay, period, fun, period, jokes. Because that's what it is to me. I like to have fun. I like to bring light to fucking silly, stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Because we should all be able to laugh at things. And we should be able to laugh at ourselves too. Not take ourselves too seriously. So I like to like bring light to those things and be a little bit edgy in that regard. And then even that just becomes this huge fucking drama funnel that I have to deal with. And I'm like, and it's not cigars, and it's not the things that happen in the content. It's the people. It just comes down to the people. And that's the fucking insufferable thing about it, is like, it's a community that's supposed to be worked in from a perspective where like it's all inclusive and people love each other. And it's like, even if I'm being satirical around something, it's like, you got to fucking know I'm not being serious. Like, you got to know that I'm just having fun with certain things. And then people just take it to another fucking degree. And then I just go, I just don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that anymore. It's fucking annoying. Anyway.
Yeah. Let me let in mom anyway so she can grab Kale.
Oh, is she here?
Yeah.
Yeah, go let her in.
We'll take a small break.
Well, yeah, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back to you guys in just a minute. Hang tight.
You know, I'm getting to the point now, my age, my health, the fact that, you know, I've gotten all this social anxiety that I don't even want to leave my house anymore. The thing is, like, I still want to smoke cigars at home, but I sure as shit do not want to leave my home.
Yeah, well, you're perpetually sick, so there's a societal responsibility that you have as well.
I just wish there was like some way for me to like buy cigars without having to think about it.
I think I have the medicine for you. My cigar pack. Curated packs come straight to your door every single month.
Is it
5-pack of cigars, specially handpicked for you. And you can also subscribe to the Factory Direct program and get cigars that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, as long as it covers the Omicron variant, I'm good.
I heard they show up in hazmat suits.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that safety and protection are at top of mind.
That's
so
good.
You can visit My Cigar Pack, www.mycigarpack.com, just for all their options. Again, that's www.mycigarpack.com. Doesn't. All right. And we're back. Here we go. I'm going to go over a little bit of PCA stuff, even though there's not a lot of meaningful stuff. So I wanted to just highlight, Half Wheel did just a quick spread article on who wasn't exhibiting this year. And there's a few names on here, and some of them didn't exhibit last year. Some of them, this is new year, not exhibiting at PCA. So Altatus did not exhibit at PCA this year. Blackbird Cigar Company, we actually covered that because they built that new facility.
Makes sense.
They're putting a lot of time, money, and effort into that.
Yeah.
Davidoff, another notable brand, Drew Estate. This is 2 years in a row. General Cigar Company, Hoya de Nicaragua, also kind of interlaced in Drew Estate. A couple other brands no one gives a shit about. Viaje, which I feel like Viaje doesn't ever. And then Warped. Kyle Gillis in the same boat as everybody else. He's dedicating money and time to other things that he's working on, and not putting that into PCA. I think you're going to start seeing this more as a trend. I think you're going to see this list get bigger. I think there's going to be companies that kind of pull out, and we talked about this last year. It's like investing in yourself first, investing into something that you may not feel you get a whole lot of return out of. So
think about it this way. Like before, if I understand the dynamics of what this industry was, the trade show was a benefit to both retailer and manufacturer.
Yeah.
To sign and secure deals for new releases or cigars.
Correct.
To be released in stores.
Right.
And it's easy to do that way because you're basically pulling all the retailers who even want the product to come to the event to do so.
Right. Correct.
COVID was a different animal because it forced everybody to do deals
differently,
digitally,
right,
virtually,
which actually is easier to do.
And they found it to be just as effective.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I can make deals with retailers because we've created a platform by which they can reach out to us via social media or our website if they're interested in product. We can set up meet and greets,
right?
Send some samples, not for free, and
not for free. It's gonna at least be a penny.
Yeah, and do purchase orders that way. And I think for most brands that was just as effective.
Yeah.
So it's like, you telling me I can still drive that much retailer interest from my social media posts, because everybody's following everybody, and do that and save 50 grand.
Right. Yeah.
Of
considerable amount of money.
Of course.
Not only money is from a trade show perspective, but you think about just like per diem cost, flights are through the roof, hotel stays in Vegas are through the roof. Yeah. I mean, where are you going to allocate those dollars? I mean, in my own head, I would go, oh, what can I do with all that money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel some people have to be there because they're supporting the association. And that's not a bash on anyone that's supporting the association. I think that's a great thing. Now, if you're supporting a long-term association, but I also understand why people don't.
Yeah, I get it. Like, maybe there's something else to the Vegas, the charm. Maybe it's the women, the pole dancers, the strippers you're affording, the prostitutes. Right. I get it. But did you know that for every one Vegas prostitute, you could probably get like 20 back home?
It's true.
You know?
A lot cheaper back home.
Yeah.
A lot more disgusting, but...
And listen, for $30, you can get yourself a little VR headset you plug your little smartphone into. If you want the Vegas experience...
You can get it, baby.
You can get it right at home.
I do think it's interesting how the allure of Vegas in the hottest goddamn time...
Of the year, for sure.
It's not... There's nothing about Vegas I want to be... I was in Vegas in June. It was 111 degrees. They set a fucking heat record. By the way, can you see these little like scars on my elbows? Mm-hmm. And there's one on this one.
Those are burns?
You know what that's from?
From heat? Like
I sat down at a fucking table outside a black table, put my elbows on. I was like, ah!
Yeah.
And lifted my elbows, and they were literally, the skin just peeled off my elbows. Ugh. The table was that hot. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
No.
I don't want to do that. It's hot there right now.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do PCA in Vegas, do it in January.
Yeah.
Do it when Vegas is prime in terms of weather.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you're going to do it. Because then there is an allure to it. Vegas is fun. You can have fun in Vegas. I go there. I've been there so many times. There's fun you can have in Vegas. But I'd also argue for the expense that you put into it from a booth perspective, which I don't know how much that is, but if I have a sense... And then you talk about all the other expenditures that go along with it and the preparation you have to put into it.
It's probably $25K easy for a small brand.
I just don't see how it could be meaningful. I actually do long-term see that the trade show itself will probably erode. I think it will eventually go away.
Yeah. Do you think that the city song is probably that like...
How lucky could one guy be? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I feel like that's the perfect Vegas song.
It is the perfect Vegas song. It was also in Vegas Vacation.
That's true.
So I feel like
Frank.
Just that connected together. Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's go over the list of some of the notable cigars that were presented at PCA. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more than this, but this is probably the list where I think is most meaningful. I'm not going to go into the details of cigars. You guys can look these up. I made it a point to put the number one on the list, the Gurkha, the Pure Evil, which is actually a remake cigar, a different blend. United Cigar Group with the Ya, LFD with the Solus, which I'm very excited about because I love LFD releases. This is a new release by LFD. It looks pretty awesome.
Is it sun-grown?
I don't know. Did I just not say I don't know the details?
I just think Solus and I think Sun.
I don't know. Espinosa, the 601 La Bamba Warhead. Casa Cuevas, which is the Sangre Nueva. Sereno, which I love. Sereno Cigar Company is the Bygone. McAuliffe, lowercase a. They came out with the A, I think, last year, the year before. Ace Prime with the Mas Igneous. Is it? You think that's how it is? Igneous?
Yeah, Mas Igneous.
Masignius Foundation with the Olmec.
Ooh.
So new foundation cigar. They had another one that they released there as well. It was like one of the high clairs. Mm-hmm. But it was like super expensive, and it's like I think it was only like $500 or $600 made. It's like $24 cigars. Crazy. Now these are my favorite. So I'm actually gonna start with Cavalier. Cavalier is the Inner Circle, which actually I always made fun of Cavalier because their fucking designs were atrocious. It was like they printed them at like a kid's factory, and like someone just crapped out the logo. They were just so elementary looking. But this new one, this Cavalier Inner Circle, looks pretty dope.
Maybe they were
like even like the label of it, even though it kind of has a warped feel to it. I'm like, oh, but they are really cool looking. So Cavalier the Inner Circle. I really like this one, the Patina Sumatra.
Ooh.
So Patinas had the Connecticut,
the Maduro,
the Habano, the Maduro, now the Sumatra. It just makes sense that this is going to be the next evolution of Patina. It's literally like year by year. Mo comes out with something new. I love all of his cigars. The Sumatra, really excited to try that one. Obviously, PCA released. Now, here's my favorite. El Septimo. They have the new Emperor collection. I've always said this about this company. They are and do not hide the fact that they are ultra luxury. I don't even say luxury. I mean ultra luxury. Their cigars are expensive. I actually went to a place in Vegas to smoke a cigar at a very premier lounge. They had like 2 different of the El Septimo cigars, and they were not only are they expensive, but if you're in Vegas, the cost is inflated.
Like 50% probably.
So expensive. And I've had their cigars. They are not great. Not the ones that I've had, right? But ultra luxury brand. Could not imagine paying that much for one of their cigars. Now, so they have the new Emperor collection. Now, this is where it gets even better. El Septimo also has their own cognac that they displayed there. Now, this cognac that they displayed at PCA is like $400 a bottle. Now, this gets even better. If you didn't think it could get better, it gets better. They also
give you a woman.
They also had some artist create a decanter for them. That's like $1.5 million.
It's just a piece of glass?
With like gold and crystals and all kinds of shit. Now, Chris! If it doesn't get any better, they have their own lighters. You know what's great about these lighters, Chris? In totality, the ones they showed off.
They plug into your Bugatti?
These are table lighters. About $5.5 million worth of lighters. Encrusted in gold and fucking rare jewels. Table lighters.
For a...
Now, Chris.
You
know the kind of people that go to PCA, right?
Are pharaohs still around?
No shit. You know the kind of people that go to PCA, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right. You got these retailers, and some of them are a little more classier than others in terms of their establishments. But for the most part, they're all kind of on the same level. Now, who do you think's going to spend $5.5 million on some table lighters? Huh?
One of those.
Now, did you imagine that someone came up and said, you know what? I got a buyer for that. Now, here's the thing. If you sell a table lighter encrusted in gold and jewels,
I know.
Let's just say for $2 million. Who are you selling it to? Who's buying it?
What's that big city that they built out in the Middle East?
Dubai?
Yeah. What are those people called, those oil tycoons that have like most money in the world? What are they called? Who are they called?
Billionaires?
Yeah, but there's like a name that they give them.
Middle Eastern billionaires?
Sure.
Jihadists? I don't know. What do you call them? I don't know.
I forget what they're called.
Oh, am I going to get fucking railed for that one too? It's a joke.
I forget what they're called, but they're like, they're like royalty. They're like princes. They're like...
yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter what you call them, but you're saying they're the ones that are going to spend that much money on a lighter.
Like
some rich oil billionaire from the Middle East.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
some guy lives in Baku or some shit.
Yeah, like they're in Dubai and they're like, I got to really show up for my friends to really flaunt my $10.2 billion. And I need to go in there with the richest lighter I can find.
Yeah.
That, probably got blood diamonds in it.
Yeah.
The gold was stolen from an ancient Egyptian temple.
Yeah.
From a pharaoh's tomb.
With some Indiana Jones shit. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's probably like spirits and some witchcraft going on in the shit that was taken out.
They're probably haunted.
Blood diamonds for sure.
Yeah.
At a minimum, some lady lost her arm.
Yeah.
Trying to protect those precious jewels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pulled this gold from a tiger who consumed it. I pulled it right out of its ass.
And then immediately stuck it in my ass.
Yeah. I strangled the tiger that swallowed my gold. and I ripped his gut open and pulled out my gold. And that is what you see before you. It's shit gold.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty wild. And I know it's for...
Like, who do you think you are?
This is for oil tycoons.
It is. And what's so funny is like...
Which is fitting
I'm sure people walked up to him and was like, wow, that's fucking crazy looking.
Yeah.
And then they moved the fuck on.
Yeah.
And they went from here and they went, and I'm moving on to shit that I can actually appreciate and make sense of.
That's fitting. Oil tycoons, El Septimo, which we know translated means the septic tank.
Yeah.
The septic tank
is full of shit.
Full of shit. And oil tycoons, they got to go through a lot of shit filtering.
Yeah. It's a stretch, but I'm with you.
Like, isn't that all that fossil fuels is? Is the decaying shit of dead animals? Think about it.
Maybe.
You know, they should come. Roto-Rooter needs a fucking lighter.
I don't know. I think it's such a stupid...
El Septimo should have done a deal with Roto-Rooter.
It makes me so angry. It makes me so fucking angry. I hate this brand more than any brand I've ever seen.
I mean, Emperor Collection. I mean, think.
It's so crazy. Like, you know, here's the thing. It's like, I respect the fact that they're so outward about this luxury thing.
I respect the effort for sure.
I respect the fact that they're like, we know we're douchebags. I respect the fact that like we know we're a bunch of fuck faces. Yeah. We are a bunch of fucking cunts. I respect the fact that they know that. I don't respect the fact that they think that people in this industry are interested in what they fucking have to offer.
Like your cigar.
The only people smoking your cigars, by the way, 100% douchebags.
Like
all of them.
One of your lighters, MSRP, was more money than the small brand next to you in a booth paid to be in that event.
Yeah. By the way, for selling a lighter for $1 million, there's some brands in there that don't sell $1 million worth of cigars in a year.
Yeah, for sure.
And here you come, you're like, we're ultra luxury. You know what? We don't want your business if you don't own a yacht, peasant.
Yeah.
It's so fuck them. God, I love them. Fuck them. I really respect a lot of them. Fucking cunts. God damn, they're onto something.
I do like the balls.
I do too. I really fucking respected those pieces of shit. I really do.
Because you know they're sitting there every month going like, we just need
one lighter sale. One lighter sale. We need to sell like 6 bottles of cognac and 1 lighter sale. And if someone buys that decanter, we're rich.
It's like, we know that 1% of the 1%, one of those fuckers has to buy this this fucking lighter.
So ridiculous. All right, let's move the fuck on. We got some news to talk about. First thing in the news to talk about, General Cigar Company is being sued over the trademark X from Arturo Fuente. Now, at a high level, this is a real bitch move on Fuente's part. Because you're essentially saying that a letter is off the table.
It's trademarked.
Which is pretty crazy. You can't trademark a letter. Now, what they are trademarking is the use of a large X on their product.
A branding thing.
It's a branding thing. Okay. Now, CAO just came out with the BX3, which I'll be honest with you, I was very much not interested in until I read the article. Now I want to smoke the shit out of it. But if you remember, this is not the first time that they used an X. I remember they came at the CX2 with the black label. They had the CX2 that came out.
Why
so they've used this before. But now Fuente's going, time out. You can't use the X. We're going to sue you. Now, the legal team at General Cigar Company is saying, well, we're not really sure what the cease and desist letter even means because they really haven't given us any parameters to it other than the fact that Arturo Fuente is suing them over this BX3. Now, what's interesting is that General says they are retorting everything. They are actually essentially going to countersue for any sort of costs that are incurred through this process. Legally, yeah. Basically saying you're fucking stupid for not allowing us to use an X, which is a letter that is part of the alphabet and has been for an extended period of time. And by the way, any costs that are incurred through this process, Arturo Fuente, you are going to be responsible for paying for. Now, Chris, what do you think the outcome of this is going to be?
nothing's going to happen. I mean, I don't think CAO is going to lose personally.
Right. Yeah, there you go. The LX2 and the MX2. Those are the two I was talking about. Now the BX3.
Yeah. I mean, that's a hard thing to say. That's a hard thing to defend. I mean, an X.
A literal X, a letter. A single letter.
Like, I can imagine there's other cigar brands over the last several decades that have in some form used a large X on their branding.
I'm sure there's got to be some. Yeah. I mean, there's too many cigar brands not to use the letter.
And, I mean, yeah, Opus X, MX2. Wow, those sound so much alike. Opus X, MX2, BX3. Dude, that's like you sending me a legal letter, cease and desist. You can't be called Chris anymore. You're going to have to do Harris because I've got a C in my name and I've already trademarked it, so you can't use a C in your name.
Yeah, kind of.
And then I got to go down to the courtroom, my local, and change my birth certificate to say Harris.
I think it's a bold move on Fuente's part.
I think it's a public stunt.
I kind of think so too. But here's the problem: is that they actually go through with it. There's going to be costs incurred
for sure.
A cease and desist letter just suggests that. Which, by the way, I was served one of those in my regular job not that long ago. Talking about that offline.
I've had shit.
So yeah, I mean, a cease and desist letter essentially just says stop doing this. The problem is, in my case, it's not a harsh penalty because it was easy to mend. It was easy to fix. Yeah, almost immediately.
Cease and desist, or we will file legal charges because of damages incurred by you continuing to do this thing.
The problem with this is CAO is already committed to the cigar, the packaging, and the branding, and they're already sitting on shelves.
Yeah.
So a cease and desist essentially says move them off the shelves or change the branding.
Let's be real here for a second. I want to know, in what world there's someone that goes into a humidor and picks up a cigar.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you grabbing today, Timmy? I don't know why his name's Timmy. He sounds like a little child. What are you grabbing today, Tim? Oh, well, I'm going to probably grab an Opus X and take it back to the lounge, smoke it. You want to join me there? I'm like, yeah, sure, no, man, no problem. And he grabs a cigar and he goes and pays for it at the counter. He's like, oh, wow, that's a cheap Opus X. It must have a sale. And then sits down and starts smoking it.
This isn't an Opus.
And his friend looks like, I thought you grabbed an Opus. I did. No, you grabbed CAO. Oh, shit, this is a CAO? Oh, I thought this was an Opus X.
Now, how many times will that happen?
Zero
fucking times.
Zero.
That's a great point. You made a fucking great point. Because the only reason Fuente should ever be mad at that is that if there's confusion on the consumer's part.
Right.
That's it. And there will be no confusion on the consumer's part.
Zero.
Fucking zero. I think it's a shitty move, and I'll tell you what. I've been smoking a lot of the Don Carlos, and I bought a lot of those Opus X. I am now striking again for a short period of time, probably because I really do like an Opus X.
I know.
For a short period of time, I'm not buying any of your shit.
They're pretty solid.
And guess what? As soon as I see this BX3, I'm buying a fucking box of them. I don't care how terrible they are. I know they're going to be terrible, and I'm committing to a box of them because I want to support this fucking legal effort.
We should call them, just to rub it in, the poor man's Opus X. That's what we should call him.
That'd be great. I'm not kidding you. I actually may legitimately buy a box of the BX3 just because of this. And then literally take all my Opuses I have and just fucking burn them in my fire pit.
It would be a good move.
Just to strike.
That's making a statement.
Oh, that's fucking great. I think it's bullshit, but here we go. Another one. This is my favorite piece of news. Dude, I cannot.
Wait,
we're going to have to take another break to go through this. Oh, you don't know this? Founder of PuroTrader charged with PPP fraud? Do you know what PPP is?
No.
Okay, so PPP is the
I do know this acronym in business. What is it called?
No, so this is part of the COVID relief program, Chris, for businesses. Yeah. Now, I'm going to read this whole article because it is so good. Now, by the way, and I'm just going to come out and say it, there are certain people that I know in this industry who have been in this industry for a while, who understand how the industry works, who are notable, I would say, high-ranking people within the industry, think that the guy or guys who got in trouble for this were pieces of shit before this ever happened. Which I have talked to these people personally about how much of a piece of shit these two people are. Now, here we go. Before you ask any questions, the founder and CEO of PuroTrader.com, a cigar selling platform, has been indicted on multiple counts of bank fraud, wire fraud, and attempted wire fraud, according to press release from the Department of Justice's New Hampshire office. Pierre Rogers, 43, of Irvine, California, and Joshua Leavitt, 40, of Northwood, New Hampshire, and just fucking clicked into another fucking stupid half-wheel ad, charged with 6 counts of bank fraud, 1 count of wire fraud, 2 counts of attempted wire fraud, and 1 count of money laundering related to defrauding the government through fraudulent loans through the government's Paycheck Protection Program, PPP, which was meant to help small businesses during COVID-19 pandemic, issuing forgivable loans. Now, here we go. Let's get into some more information. There are rules about who could qualify for the loans and other rules about the money or how the money could be used. If a business used the money in specific ways, such as for payroll, rent, utilities, a company could apply for the forgiveness on the loan. According to the government, Rogers and Leavitt applied for 14 loans, including roughly $2 million in PPP loans, $3 million in loans from Small Businesses Administration's Economic Injury Disaster Loan, the EIDL loans. The government says the 2 falsified tax documents as well as payroll and earnings statements to secure these loans. The pair applied for the loans for a variety of companies, including Dark Matter. These are the companies that they own. Dark Matter Associates, Debt Meter Project, the Monticello Transnational, PuroTrader, Pure Lounge, Pure Group, and Sunju, which the government says Rogers and Leavitt controlled.
So now, they're starting up LLCs and then saying, I got a company and I need money.
Hey, it gets better. Also alleges, by the way, Pierre Rogers, that's the guy everyone thinks is a cunt head.
Yeah.
Pierre Rogers, right? Also,
never trust a man named Pierre.
No shit.
I'm just saying.
Rogers used at least some of the money for personal use. For example, the government accuses Rogers and Leavitt obtaining a fraudulent loan for Puro Group for $175,000, presumably in May 2020, and then says Rogers wired $107,700. What is that?
$107,780
of that loan to Private Collection Motors to purchase a 2011 Rolls-Royce Ghost, a luxury car.
But it's a company car. It's a company car.
This is what's great. PuroTrader's been around for a while. A big Instagram account, presence on social media, so on and so forth, and have been doing exchanges and trading of cigars for an extended period of time.
StockX,
what is really hilarious, and I'm saying Pierre Rogers specifically, I don't know the other guy, is a guy in which certain people in this industry think has been a twat for an extended period of time. What I think is interesting about this is that twatness that may have been somewhat of an unfounded belief by certain people over a period of time has now come to light. Obviously, giant piece of shit. Also, I'm dumbfounded how you think you're going to just rip off the American government. $5 million. $5 million. You're just going to say, yeah, we could probably figure it out. We'll never get caught. What in the fuck makes you so egotistical, so narcissistic, that you actually think you're going to fuck the government out of $5 million? Now, here's the thing. I know this administration is insufferable, and I know it's been run by literally the fucking inmates of the asylum for the past 2 years. But did you really think you're going to fuck the government out of $5 million?
No.
Dude. $5 million is going to get you 30 years in prison. And I don't mean prison. I mean, fuck you in your ass prison. You're going to big boy jail
Pierre.
For a long time.
What's his name? Pierre?
Pierre. And then some guy named Jason Leavitt, which he sounds like he's a Jewish last name. You think he'd be better with money?
Pierre. I have a word of advice.
Run.
Coming.
Fucking run.
Coming from someone who's dealt.
I was right. 30 years in prison. Fines
Yeah.
up to $1 million and up to 30 years in prison.
Coming from someone who has every year had to pay taxes for reasons that are choices of my own. I never once shirked my responsibility to pay taxes because we live in a country that is full of opportunities, but you earn it the hard American way. You don't steal from it. So my words to you, Pierre, if you are actually French.
Lube up, baby. He's not French.
You're going to have to Wesley Snipes this. Listen, my friend, you're going to have to go to South America. Like immediately.
Yeah, extradition's probably.
Listen, if you're in New Hampshire, if that's where you're actually at, because I know that's where you're like.
That's where Jason Leavitt is. He's in Pierre's in California, I believe.
Listen.
By the way, it says Rogers was arrested in Hawaii June 30th and released on $50,000 bond. Counts 1 through 7 carry fines of up to $1 million and 30 years in prison. He will get time. It's $5 million in total.
Time.
You are going to serve time in prison, and all your money and all your assets are going to be seized.
Yeah.
Like you've lost everything that you've tried to build because you're literally trying to defraud the government. The United States government.
And you know, even then, Pierre, if you are actually French, you're still going to get by on stealing from the American public because once you go to jail, us hard-earned taxpayers are going to pay $22,000 a year to make sure that you're still fed and alive in a state penitentiary. So even then, good on you. You're still fucking the rest of us.
That's true. And with that, let's conclude this episode. It's good to be back. Thanks everybody who's listened to this. PCA follow-up, some industry news, some sad things that we talked about, the death of a close friend of ours. It's filled with a lot of emotion, a lot of sweat. I felt like I amped up a little too much, and I apologize for that. I need to bring my levels back down.
And I think we're still playing dodgeball with our words, trying not to get hit by the ball.
Yeah, for
people
sure.
hurl them at us.
Yeah. For all you little people, I apologize. For anyone who's offended. For all the little people in the United States and across the world, I apologize if I offended you. For the guy in the cowboy hat that was defending you, he can go suck all the dicks. All right. Be back with you soon with a new episode. Thanks everyone for listening. Adios.
Be kind to each other.